Waterfront project nears completion. Government Comes to You outreach taken to Region 6 and more than 14,000 pupils sit NGSA. The details of these and more on this week's InfoHub recap, where we highlight stories covered from April 15 to Thursday, April 18.
The future of Guyana has never looked better. Our nation is on the cusp of a development program like never seen before. While Guyana is now emerging as an energy giant through the discovery of massive reserves of oil and natural gas, it is your government's intention that the huge benefits emerging from this will go where it matters most, to you, the people of this beloved country. There is a surge of confidence in the way Guyana is governed once again, and the level of investor interest is unprecedented. Guyana is poised to become the breadbasket of the region, and the pace at which this nation will grow through prudent fiscal management will be nothing short of impressive. But more than anything else will be the way every Guyanese, regardless of color, class, or creed, becomes a part of this historic period of national transformation, sharing in the wealth and well-being of it all as one Guyana.
The much-anticipated Supinam Waterfront project is near completion. The project, being undertaken by the Ministry of Public Infrastructure, is expected to be a significant asset to Region 2.
The $143 million Supinam Waterfront Enhancement Project will soon be a major asset to the region, benefiting mostly boating operators, vendors, and visitors as well. Overseeing this project is District Engineer within the Ministry of Public Infrastructure, Saeed Mohammed. The engineer brought InfoHub up to speed with the progress made thus far. Sea Defense's works were critical to the structural integrity of the project.
Defense work was basically a steel sheet pile revetment, and then it would be backfilled. Initially they had a timber revetment here, and which used to give a lot of problems, right? It used to, part of it just collapse. We have to come emergency work, putting in sandbags to prevent the water from eroding the embankment, the dam. So it's a project that was meant to be.
As the project winds down, landscaping, tiling, and the installation of decorative lights along with benches are to be done. InfoHub spoke with a few persons who shared their thoughts on the benefit of the project.
The project is going to enhance the end here, which is good. It becomes a spectacle of the road end, because over the years we were looking like a ghost town. And this is very good for the community, the travelers, and everybody is going to benefit from this.
Absolutely, I feel happy, man. I feel happy because we take a long time to get the place developed like this,
The business is picking up. People are coming around, they like the place. People don't start visiting the infrastructure work in front there. And I expect that you will get plenty of visitors coming, people coming from all over to see Supinam, how it looks like.
As you can see, this project is taking shape quite nicely. Reporting from Supinam with videographer Kareem Peters, Shaquille Bourne for InfoHub.
Residents of Aishalton and surrounding communities in the Deep South Rupununi will now benefit from improved emergency health services as government provides the district hospital with a fully equipped ambulance.
The $50 million ambulance will provide services to Aishalton and surrounding areas including Awarenau, Marurenau, Shia, Crowdanawa, and Rupunau. Minister of Indigenous Peoples Affairs Sid Nyalika, who officially handed over the vehicle to the district hospital, said,
"We have a mission, and that is the mission of having a good life for everyone, and health comes first. This is the beginning to many more things to come."
Regional Executive Officer Carl Parker said that the initiative is part of the regional administration's effort to return the hospital to its former glory.
When I came here in 1991, this hospital was even better than the Latham Hospital. It was in better shape. We had a generator, we had a theater, everything, but we hadn't the people to staff it. And we were dreaming. And 28 years after, we have seen the fulfillment of one aspect of that dream. And I dare say, before the end of this government storm, we will see other aspects of the dream coming true.
The ambulance will add to the one already in Anai and in Lethem to provide services to the residents in those areas. Between 2015 and 2018, the coalition government invested over $950 million in health services in Region 9, of which the sum of $120 million was spent in Aishalton alone. Seneca Thorne, InfoHub.
To better tackle the water situation in Region 2, the Essequibo Coast Pomeroon Water Management Committee was formed. The committee will ensure that water resources within the region are better managed, especially during dry weather conditions.
We have limited water in our reservoirs across this region. And because of the weather, we are experiencing something called salt water in the Pomeroon, and that is now trickling in to some of our cultivation areas.
This development poses a serious threat to the rice-producing region, as salt water or seawater has a detrimental effect on most plant life.
This management committee is going to ensure that whether it is dry weather, so to speak, or whether it is wet weather, meaning the rains are here with us, we are going to be able to have a system of control of the water that we have in our reservoir. We are going to control water in such a way that there is no wastage.
This committee will comprise the National Drainage and Irrigation Authority, the Water Users Association, the Region 2 Administration, the Rice Producers Association, the Guyana Rice Development Board, and the farmers' representatives. Meanwhile, in a bid to regularize and enhance the operations and atmosphere at the soon-to-be-complete Supernam Speedboat Stelling, the Supernam Waterfront Enhancement Management Committee was launched.
That is going to be the gateway to the region. And therefore, as soon as you come there, you are going to have an impression different from what it used to be. And so those stalls are going to be allocated to persons, agencies, ministries, and what have you, to send the message that there is standard. We have to keep those standards.
This stelling upgrade is expected to be completed by the end of the month. Reporting for InfoHub, Nikosi Bruce.
The government on Tuesday took its Government Comes to You outreach to Region 6. Cabinet held its first meeting since the coalition government came to office in 2015 in the region.
Acting President Moses Nagamutu this morning held Cabinet in Region 6 East Berbice Quarantine. This, of course, is the very first time that the coalition government has ventured outside of Georgetown to hold Cabinet.
The meeting of ministers is symbolic in the sense that it is grounding with the people, rooting with the communities, going back to the geographic locations that have elected some of the members of the parliament, and they have representation from these geographic areas.
It is exciting times, and I think it is a very, very good initiative that we have agreed upon, and we expect to get into other regions in due course.
I think it is brilliant. It's just keeping in what we said, that we are government for the people, and this is bringing government to the people here in Berbice. We just don't only sit down in Georgetown, the government goes around the country. So I think it's brilliant. It's nothing surprising or nothing strange. It was all in the planning.
To return to Berbice, it's good to return as a full cabinet to Berbice. I'm very sorry His Excellency is not here, but I'm quite certain that the people within the Region 6 would feel the government and understand that we are about what we say. We said that we are government for the people, and this is one of the ways in which we are showcasing to the people that the compound of the presidency does not lock us in, that we're willing to come out and to come and do work even in their region.
From State House in Region 6, Felicia Valenzuela, InfoHub.
Meanwhile, at the University of Guyana's Tain campus, residents of Berbice showed up in their numbers to have various concerns addressed as the government's outreach got underway.
Berbice government is here. Representatives of over 22 government agencies and ministries are here at the University of Guyana's Tain campus, where they will address the concerns of Region 6 residents.
InfoHub spoke with some of the residents to get their take on the event.
Oh, I feel good. I feel good. I feel gorgeous about my government and what the government is doing for everybody. I feel real good. It's a blessing. It's a real, real blessing to everyone.
Wonderful. No complaint. Wonderful. Very wonderful. We get everything in order. And
it's a good event, and I hope they will do it every year.
Very happy and proud to know that we are getting support from our government fully, that we have place that we can make our complaint to get our satisfaction.
Our team is on the ground and will provide you live updates as the event progresses, and a detailed report will follow at the end of the day. From the University of Guyana's Berbice Tain campus, with videographer Akeem Thomas and Arakan for InfoHub.
With the outreach in full swing, residents were relieved to have their utility and land issues addressed.
It was approximately 1 month ago that the Government Comes to You outreach was held in Region 4. Today, the people of Region 6 will get the chance to interact with several government ministers and get their issues addressed on spot.
I applied for special land in Blackbush, and that's what I'm here for. It was 4 years now, 3 or 4 years now I applied, and I hear nothing out anything from them, you know. So I come to tell them what I feel. So they said that it is the process, next 2 weeks I will hear from them.
I was having a bill for October month of $14,190. I went to GWI office and nobody looked me there for several times. I see this initiative on the TV running and I decide to come. And they take off half of it. And I just pay $7,000 something. So it's a good initiative for help the people.
If you're coming to us with an issue that is in the system already, you want to walk with a copy of any document that you would have received from the Commission. Whether it's a receipt, whether it's a copy of an application form, any document that will help us to trace your issue.
Reporting for InfoHub from the University of Guyana Tain campus, Berbice, with senior videographer Tej Paul Bridge-Mohan, I'm Mayana George.
On matters of security, one of the residents who spoke with DPI left the Ministry of Public Security's booth with much satisfaction, as he indicated that an application was made for a firearm license since 2017.
New Amsterdam resident Compton Reed is one step closer to receiving a firearm in the best interest of his business.
As soon as I entered the tent, I was approached by one of the staffers who took my information and has promised to respond to me within another 3 weeks or so. We have to remember that there wasn't a commission at the time, you see? And it was for that reason that licenses were not really issued during that period. Unfortunately, when I received the refusal letter, it was 1 week after the current commissioner took office. Most likely, he's not the one who did handle the business, you see? But for more than one reason, you know, I feel that having the firearm, it will serve me well because I operate a large farm and I also do export. Plus, there is some additional security that I personally need.
I am Isaiah Braffett at UG's Tain campus with videographer Anil Silal for InfoHub.
Prime Minister Moses Nagamutu, who is currently performing the functions of president, joined the outreach later on Tuesday, where he was warmly received by the residents.
Cabinet, as you know, was in full force in Region 6 today at a regular statutory meeting. And of course, we try to make the meeting efficient so that we could all come out and fan out at the outreach at Tain campus. So here we are at the Tain campus, where we were told that almost all day there has been a long stream of people coming in and out of the various ministry booth, looking after matters that concern their welfare, from students to farmers to cattle rearers. We have people who came looking, as we had in Georgetown, the large number of persons looking for house lots and to clarify the status of their allocation that had been made, some as far back as 2012. So again, we were able to look at the variety of services that were made available to the people in Region 6. The service was varied. You had health booth, sections dealing with NIS and pensioners, generally issues concerning sports and social cohesion. So we today were able to open the government to the people.
More than 14,000 of the nation's children on Wednesday sat the National Grade 6 Assessment. Minister of Education Dr. Nicolette Henry visited several schools and shared encouraging words with the pupils.
Minister of Education Dr. Nicolette Henry visited several schools this morning as students prepare to sit the National Grade 6 examination.
It's really important for me to come to the schools to see how relaxed and prepared the students are.
The minister is confident that given the investments the ministry has made in primary education, results will show improvement in all subject areas.
This year, given the volume of work we would have put into this National Grade 6 examinations, it is my expectation that the results would surpass all previous years.
The ministry's interventions include professional development sessions for teachers, free math camps, remediation programs, mock examinations, diagnostic examinations, and parent involvement initiatives.
I'd just like to say thank you to the team at the Ministry of Education, particularly the Chief Education Officer and his technical officers who really work very hard, and of course the thousands of teachers across this country who work very hard to prepare the students. I want to also thank the parents who put in a lot of hard work.
I think the examination was kind of easy because most of what we done in the examination we have done in class already, and our teacher has broken it down for us, so I think I did well.
The test was easy and a little bit there were some challenges in the test. The school I would like to get is Bishops.
The students sat English and Science on Wednesday and will be sitting Mathematics and Social Studies on Thursday. From St. Gabriel's Primary School in Queenstown with videographer Kareem Peters, Natisha Isaacs for InfoHub.
Minister of Communities Ronald Bulkan has disclosed that approximately 4,000 new house lots will be available within the next 18 months.
Minister Bulkan made a disclosure on Tuesday during the Government Comes to You outreach in Berbice. The cost to develop a house lot is approximately $3 million. Despite this, he said the government is making it affordable for its citizens.
We have had to pump over $5 billion in consolidating the infrastructure for schemes that we inherited. This prevented us from having a more aggressive program to develop new housing schemes. But this is an issue that is now addressing the administration to see in 2019 how many more new house lots we can make available. And our target at this stage is to, within the next 18 months, have possibly in the vicinity of 4,000 new house lots.
Minister Bulkan highlighted that there is a huge backlog in the system inherited from the previous administration. Nevertheless, he said there is now a transparent process which is allowing more persons to have their own homes.
One of the things that we have tried to ensure that exists is greater transparency in the process, where as far as possible there's a first come, first served basis, and that allegations or accusations of favoritism and or improper adherence to the procedures, that those are minimized. And so we are trying to ensure that the system is more robust to ensure greater equity.
Additionally, the government has held several housing expos providing affordable housing for all. Isaiah Braffett for InfoHub.
119 entrepreneurs in Region 9 received stimulus grants totaling $6 million under the Hinterland Employment and Youth Service Program.
The youths who received $50,000 each successfully completed training under the HACE program and embarked on business ventures ranging from cattle and chicken rearing, grocery and bakery shops, canteens, honey production, ICT centers, and stationery shops. Harlington Hamilton of Arnaputa Village said through the program he was able to grasp culinary skills and business management know-how. Today he is the proud owner of a bakery business.
Before the HACE program, I was little Harlington in Arnaputa, doing nothing. Now, when HACE program come, I attended the program, learned a lot about the budget. Now I'm in Harlington in Basin, doing the little bread business, and learn a lot of budget and learn a lot how to manage me and my family. With this budget, now I do my baking and do my deliver every afternoon.
Speaking at the official handing over ceremony in Yubakari Village, Minister of Indigenous Peoples Affairs Sidney Alikok announced government will continue the program under the recently launched Guyana Youth Corps initiative.
So we have some very, very good stories across the country. I'd like you to know that we are in the process of developing, revising the concept and how we readjust to make things better for HACE, because we are going to continue the program.
Over the past 3 years, the initiative has touched the lives of some 4,000 Indigenous youth and led to the creation of close to 2,000 small businesses in 220 communities in all 10 administrative regions. Some $400,000 was invested in each of these entrepreneurs through a monthly stipend of $30,000 and additional sum to start up their businesses. Seneca Thorne, InfoHub.
Minister of Public Security, Camarade Ramjatan's recent community meeting held at the Tagore Memorial Secondary School following the Government Comes to You outreach in Region 6 was deemed a success.
The ministers' meeting held on April 16 as part of the coalition's Government Comes to You exercise in number 63 Village, East Berbice Quarantine was well attended.
This was excellent. I want to commend the organizers for getting the people out, and they came very respectful, and they allowed me to explain the sugar industry and the crisis it was in.
Minister Ramchatan's meeting marked the culmination of another successful ministerial outreach, the third in as many months conducted by the government. Billed as part of the effort to take government to the people, thousands have taken the opportunity to have their issues resolved, questions answered, and one-on-one discussions with ministers and senior officials of ministries, agencies, and departments.
The biggest one again is the rice, because this paddy bug is affecting everybody. And I'll have to speak to the agriculture minister, and we might have to address this in cabinet.
The next ministerial outreach is scheduled for April 25 in Mahaika Berbice.
Every single complaint will be addressed.
Paul McAdam for InfoHub.
ExxonMobil has announced that the installation of the first subsea tree marks another milestone for the Lisa Phase 1 development.
A subsea tree monitors and controls the production of a subsea well. Affixed to the wellhead of a completed well, it can also manage fluids or gas injected into a well. According to a release from the oil giant, the tree arrived in February on the Choust Sea Installer. Installation and testing began on April 11 and lasted for 4 days. The tree was lowered into the water from the back deck of the multi-purpose installation vessel via a crane, set in 1,700 meters of water onto the first completed well, latched and locked into place using a remote-operated vehicle, after which the valves were then pressure tested. It was noted that a next tree is expected to be installed in May. The Lisa Phase 1 development includes a subsea production system and a floating production storage and offloading vessel designed to have the capacity to process up to 120,000 barrels of oil per day from 4 subsea drill centers consisting of 17 wells, including 8 producers, 6 water injectors, and 3 gas injectors. For InfoHub, Anara Khan.
The Ministry of Public Telecommunications is on a mission to connect all Guyanese, and this week commissioned 6 brand new internet hotspots in the remote village of Oriala.
The InfoHub team is here in the beautiful village of Oriala, where the Ministry of Public Telecommunications is bringing yet another rural village online.
So today we have Minister Hughes with us, Minister of Communication, and she is here to launch the 6 internet sites that have been established here in Oriala. And that's historic, because this never happened before. And so we are extremely happy for this.
That was the Tusha of Oriala, Carpenu. This was a move that was welcomed by residents who admitted that up until recently, they had only cellular connection. During a brief question and answer segment, Minister of Public Telecommunications Catherine Hughes was asked if there were plans to address the power situation in the village, since the village does not have constant power throughout the day and is solar powered.
So we're working towards that. There's a lot to be done. Unfortunately, these are things that I think as a country we should have been looking at years ago. But we ain't looking back. We're putting things in place now, and slowly but surely we'll be able to get more panels into the community. So we are thinking about that.
With the village coming online, there is much to be gained in multiple sectors, including security, health, and education, as this teacher highlights.
It would have great impact on the lives of people, on the lives of the children, as now they can be able to go online and do the research, right? Because sometimes it requires that kind of the internet service to get certain answers to questions.
From the serene village of Oriala with videographer Anil Silal, I am Nkosi Bruce for InfoHub.
A stretch of road on the east bank of Essequibo has been rehabilitated at a cost of $10 million. The 7-mile stretch of road from St. Lawrence to Ben Dwarf on the east bank of Essequibo, passing through Namlas, was in a deplorable condition. Huge craters covered almost every inch of the road, making vehicular travel virtually impossible. The repairs, which began in May, wrapped up 2 weeks ago in early April. As the rehabilitation began, initially crushers and run material were added. However, later the old timber and other overburden that was placed by residents for ease of travel was removed and material added to reshape and rebuild the road. The new roadway is a welcome relief for many school children and farmers who use it daily. This road rehabilitation was an initiative of a governmental group in collaboration with BK International. The group reviews and assesses various infrastructural projects that need to be done and works in collaboration with other individuals or teams to ensure these are realized. This has been InfoHub Recap. Remember to subscribe to our website for more stories and follow us on our social media platforms. Have a safe and enjoyable Easter. DPI will provide coverage of the events on our social media platforms. Goodbye.